Hello, Owl Pals. And I know I'm not talking to anybody right now, but anybody who may be listening to this later. Welcome to an afternoon with Al. Today is May 22nd, 2020. Waiting for anybody to pop up just to say hi. Had a little time this afternoon. Just thought I'd, chat, see what's happening with people, see how everyone's doing, wanting to know how everyone is getting along this crazy, mixed up, nutty world we are living in. And I have been just relaxing this afternoon so far, not doing anything particularly exciting, updating my Facebook pages. Hello, Owen Lester. Hello, DRY Designs Networks. I always just like saying DR. Age of Boomer, howdy, howdy, howdy. How you guys doing today? Just thought I'd get on, say hi, see how everybody was handling things and answering any questions anybody asks, or maybe talk about a few things I've been up to, which really isn't much. I really haven't been up to much. I mean, most of the things I've been up to, you guys pretty much know. If you listen to Professor Geek's streams or Fan Man streams. Speaking of Fan Man, tonight, there is a Fan Man tonight. I'm thinking 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. Not 100% sure, but even if the Fan Man put a time on it, do we really expect that it's actually going to start at that time? Although he really did almost make it last week. I was shocked. He was pretty much almost right there, starting on time. I was absolutely gobsmacked. If I can use that term. I don't know if an American should use that term or not. It's more of a British thing. Let's see. Okay. Owen Lister, I just got back from work and now I'm chicken tenders in the oven for lunch. Sweet. Yeah. My mom just went out to go grocery shopping, which, unfortunately you have to do. I hate that she has to do it and she has to do it alone and I can't go along. I used to love grocery shopping. Of course, like I said, when I go out, I need to get county transportation to take me out anywhere because of the wheelchair and stuff. And I used to love going grocery shopping and cooking, but she's going out and she's going to bring back some Taco Bell for dinner. I'm looking forward to that. I've been wanting some Taco Bell. I go through my little craving things. I haven't had that in a while. I've also been wanting Chinese food, but one day at a time. Age of Boomer, Big Al presents. Did I ever watch As Above, So Below? That sounds familiar. No. First of all, no, I haven't seen it. I'm thinking of several things. What I'm let me I really don't know what it is. So but no, I haven't. Couple things the Fan Man has suggested to me. Something called The Peanut Butter Falcon, which is a story with about a Down syndrome adult who wants to become a wrestler. It's got Shia LaBeouf in it. He does not play the Down syndrome guy. They actually have a Down syndrome fellow doing it, and it looks really good if you watch the trailer for it. It's one of those feel good kind of movies. And the other one is The Wretched. So I'm looking forward to watching those. Those are the next one currently on my list. As Above, So Below, it's a found footage movie. It's on Netflix. Oh, is that the one where they go in to the French catacombs or something? Or it's like a catacomb area or something. If it is, I know what you're talking about, and it has piqued my interest. I just haven't sat down to watch it. I've kind of been in a lull lately. Hi, Daniel Heron. Welcome aboard. Um, Kind of been in a lull watching a lot of movies the last week. I've been, I don't know, just I've been in more of a comedy mood. So I've been watching uh, some of my favorite old comedies, The Office, Parks and Recreation, things like that. I was last week. I was in a funk, and I eventually did climb out of it, but I'm still in that. I'm trying to keep myself in a good mood by watching kind of fun things, happy thoughts. It's not always easy uh, with some of these fellows I like to hang around with. Sometimes we're all doom and gloom about what's going on in the world, and yeah, there's some bad stuff out there, but there's good stuff out there too. So you know me, I always look for the good in the world. Yeah, it is the one about the French catacombs. Yeah, I've seen the little thing for it. I'll definitely keep that one in mind. Like I said, I got a couple other things I'm doing. Uh, I'm getting antsy to watch the Clone Wars. The last few office hours, I've kind of felt like in the back seat because they've been talking a lot about Ahsoka and Clone Wars and the writing and stuff like that, and I just have not seen it. I don't know I know what it is. I know what it's about, but I just don't know the story. I vaguely know about the character. So I try to give as much as I can with it. And it's but I'm kind of even with all the bad stuff they've talked about, I'm still kind of wanting to kind of start to catch it. Maybe I should go and just start streaming it. Um, DR Design Network. I haven't seen it in stores. You're talking about? Oh, they made a hover push mower. Um, yeah. Oh, if they can put a man on the moon, but can't they invent a hover chair? Oh, I'm sure they can. I'm sure they have them. I'm sure that they're out there. Um, and like weird experimental. I'm sure some guys tried to make one with big fans or jet engines or something. You've always seen on videos of guys making really weird things. I don't even need a hover chair. I could use a good electric wheelchair, like a you know you know something that's good and heavy duty because I'm big. Uh, but I do have issues sometimes with my regular wheelchair because I have a bad shoulder. Um, like I said, my neck and back aren't exactly made to uh, be the strongest, aren't exactly the strongest thing in the world anymore. So I'd really like to invest in a nice big yet modestly sized enough that I could get through my door. I mean, at least 36 inches is the width of a door, and that's kind of the universal door width if you're dealing with anyone with ADA in the ADA stuff. But you can get the other ones for like 26 inches wide, maybe. Um, Problem with wheelchairs, they got the wheels on the side stick out, so that's where I have trouble getting through a door is because of my hands are clipping the frame or my wheels just clipping or something and just kind of stopping me from going through. Um, Came across a clip of Shemp Howard in an old John Wayne movie. Yeah, I heard about that. I've probably seen it. Just been a while. Uh, Age Boomer. I like Uncle Buck. That was a fun comedy. Yeah, I remember seeing Uncle Buck when it first came out. Uh, I enjoyed that because I like a character like that. I like John Candy's characters that he always did. They were always fun, slightly disheveled, good-natured, big guys, which is what I always kind of view myself as. So I always I gravitate to those kind of characters. His character in Planes, Trains, Automobiles, Del Griffith, one of my favorite all-time characters. I really think he deserved at least a nomination for that role. I don't think he got one for that role, but he should have. Like I said, Uncle Buck's another one. The Great Outdoors, another one, a movie he did with Dan Aykroyd. Really funny one with a bear, and then he had to eat a big steak. There's just a lot of fun things in that film. Might have to pick one of those one day. Friend of mine. Okay, what? Oh, something about a friend of mine. Yeah, a friend of mine had one when he lived in England. He hated using it though, but I think you're talking about wheelchair. Yeah, I don't mind a wheelchair. Like I said, it's just so where I live, it's so limiting. I live in a rural country area, in Southern Maryland, and the only transportation here is my old pickup, 95 Ford F-150, still rolling, still going, but I just can't use it. And so when I go anywhere, I have to call the county uh, transportation service, and it's not bad. It's $3 wherever I want to go in the county to, and then $3 to go home. But I'm limited to Wednesday and Thursday because that's the only time they come down this area because I'm not on a main track. So yeah, it's limiting. Hi, Mohammed. Welcome to the party. Uh, 4-day weekend. Sound engraver. Dang it out. I wanted to take a nap before teach. I'm sorry. I told you never know when these things are going to strike. I had some alone time this afternoon, and it was this or watching repeats of Mom, or South Park, depending. So I chose to talk to you guys. Sorry for interrupting your nap, but lay your head down, close your eyes, and just get some rest. It'll be nice. Like I said, get rest because Fan Man tonight. Me and the Fan Man, with a possible appearance by Professor Geek, possibly later in the timeline. Like I said, I think it's at 8 Eastern. Don't quote me on that though. If you want to quote me saying I think it may be 8 Eastern, could be a little later. Who knows? It all depends on the Fan Man. He's not as predictable as the professor is, or well, I don't think I'm that predictable really, because like I said, this is where I like to get kind of creative and just kind of pop up. Age of Boomer you have a 4-day weekend. That's right, Memorial Day weekend. Of course, big coming up is Tuesday, my birthday. That's gal turns, and yes, old. I a double nickel, 55. I don't feel fit. Well, I don't think like I'm 55. I'll say that. I do feel like I'm 55 physically, but in my head, I'm still that 20-something, weird guy from the 80s that, dig stuff. Sounded great. You teach 6 days a week. You teach musical stuff. Do you teach at home, online, or like normal? Like if there wasn't a plague raging in the country, do you teach just online or do you teach in person at a school? Just curious, just wondering. Sound Gravy, do have Memorial Day off. Looking forward to that. So you have more time to write. Cool. Mohammed, thanks for liking my art. Yeah, yeah, you've had some good stuff there. If you guys haven't seen it, check out Mohammed. I guess on your Twitter or your Instagram, somewhere like that. But yeah, it's got some cool stuff. The reimagined Darth Vader was pretty cool. You had a couple things that were like really neat. Yeah, like I said, just kind of cruising along here. Second, what are we doing tonight? We're chatting. I do know he wants to talk about the Snyder Cut, which we really haven't discussed with the professor yet. The upcoming Snyder Cut release on was it HBO Max, I believe, the so-called Snyder Cut of Justice League. So I know he wants to talk about that. I don't know anything else. Maybe maybe a couple things normal, but it also depends on what pops up and where it takes us. Daniel Heron wants to know the color of my pickup. It's electric red, or at least it was before the years have ravaged it. Yeah, it was electric red. It was the first vehicle I ever bought. Well, the first and only vehicle I ever bought new. Everything else I had up to that point was always a used vehicle. And then one day my other one was dying, which was an 84 Chevy S10. And I needed something new, and just went up the road here. First place I looked, boom, bought one that day. Good, it was a good deal at the time, and nice. It's been a good sound truck. His name is Alexander. I know a lot of people consider a vehicle to be a female. For some reason, this was a man. My truck was a man, and his name was Alexander. And I know it's weird. The Chevy didn't have a name. Chevy never manifested a name to me, but this one did. Yes, I am weird when it comes to that kind of thing. If there was no pandemic, I teach. Whoops. What happened? Lost it. Something went somewhere. Things went crazy. Okay, there we go. If there was no pandemic, I teach at 3 different studios down here in North Carolina. So far, it's been online, which has been terrific. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people are kind of upset with the whole, pandemic thing. For me, it's been normal. I mean, it's just basically what I've done. The only thing that's been different is that I haven't gone to the doctor every month for the last couple of months. Which has been a joy, because I get in that STS bus and that thing bounces, man, and that is the one action that my spine just fires up in pain is when I hit like a bounce or like a slight little divot in the road or something. It just, oh man. It just that compression just shoots down. Do I play many video games? Define video games. Actually, let me get back to that because I missed something here from Owen Lister. Big Al, by the way, on Twitter, I'm starting a movement called #ScottBatkins. Mostly because I want more people to know Scott Adkins, very underrated actor in my opinion. And that's the guy you want to play play Batman, right? I think I saw a picture of him. I could see it. I see a Batness in there. I see a Bruceness in there. I'm already kind of anti Twilight Bat. I'm seeing nothing that makes me want to see that movie, the new Batman that they're doing. Every step has been wrong. Uh, that's all I got to say on that. But yeah, back to video games. What depending on what you call video games, technically yes, but realistically no. The video games I play are the cute little time waster games. I play Angry Birds. I play a golf game on my Kindle. I play a bowling game on my Kindle. I play chess on my Kindle. I play Dabble, which is kind of like a Scrabble-ish. Well, it's a word game, but yeah, keeps my head in the game. There's a Stratego game I play on my Kindle. So that's what I play. I don't play the big PlayStation or Xbox type of games. I never have been into that kind of gaming system. Yeah, I can't drive 55. Yep, I remember that song when it came out. That was a big hit. Sammy Hagar. Melissa Harris, hi. Thanks for joining. Klanders 988, welcome. Hey, Al, Fanman hasn't put up a notification thingy that says when Fanman tonight will be. Like I said, I remember him. I remember him saying he usually likes to start things 7 Central his time, which is 8 Eastern. If he does change it, I haven't heard anything. But this is typical Fanman. Really don't know. He does his thing. He doesn't plan too much. Like his Second Cup Cafe kind of starts where around a time every 2 days a week. And if you guys have not heard his Second Cup Cafes, that is the format. That's his money format, if you ask me. That's his radio-ness, his talk show aptitude coming out. That is the kind of thing I think he would be so good at if he had like a serious radio version of that show. I think he would be fantastic on that show, on a show like that. I'd love to see him get a serious radio job. I truly would. Or something like that. DR saying, my birthday is Tuesday. May 26th must be the day for big guys. John Wayne, James Arness. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Also, the late, great Peter Cushing, General Tarkin, as most people would know from Star Wars, was born on that day. Stevie Nicks was born on that day. I'm trying to remember some of the other guys that were also there. There are a lot of folks born on that day that are like really cool. Who else was Lenny Kravitz is born on that day too. Yeah, May 26th is awesome. I always like the fact that John Wayne was born on my birthday. That to me is my favorite sharing birthday guy. Okay, that's the Sound Engraver. Big Up presents If There Was No Pen. Oh, yeah, I already read that. God, man, I'm bouncing all over the place. K-Landers, I don't care to watch anyone else's videos on the Snyder Cut except for the Professor and Fanman's video because everyone else seems stupidly support it. You're right. I think when you have crap to work with, no matter which way you cut it, it's still going to be crap. I tried watching Justice League, and this was several weeks ago. It happened to pop up on, what was it, like TBS or something, TNT. And I was like, you know what? I've seen bits, pieces, scenes and stuff. I wonder if I could sit through the whole thing. I could not make it 20 minutes into that thing. It was horrible. Terrible writing, terrible editing, terrible casting, acting, scenery, horrible. I can't manifest how that can be made good. The only way to make that the Snyder cut should literally be a cut with like a chainsaw. Just get all the copies and just cut through with a chainsaw, start from scratch with new cast, new story, Uh, keep Gal Gadot. I think Gal Gadot is a great Wonder Woman. Um, Everyone else needs to go. Use Green Lantern, not Cyborg. Who really cares about Cyborg? Nobody wants Cyborg. You want the Green Lantern. You want Martian Manhunter. And that, yeah, and people are so, and trust me, I know Fan Man has an opinion. Boy, does he have an opinion, and I can't wait to experience it, a rendering of that in person. Mary Heron, looking to make a deal? What do you mean? Don't know what you mean by looking to make a deal, but yeah, Second Cup Cafe has been fun. Yeah, it has. If I'm falling behind, sorry. I should play NES games, Melissa. Nah. Art Red popping in. Hi. Scott Adkins is an actor, martial artist, mostly did B movies, playing a henchman from Doctor Strange. Yeah, but I remember I think someone mentioned the name, and I saw that, and Melissa Hara, Chris P, welcome. We'll say do Universal Monster rewatch. I will. Somebody will this Halloween. Excuse me, sorry. This Halloween, me or the Fan Man, I doubt Professor Geek because he's not into that. Someone's gonna watch like a couple of the classics. Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, something. Because it needs to be done. I have them. I'm ready to go with them. But I do, out of respect for the love the man has for Halloween, I want to give Fan Man the first call on it. That's kind of his thing. So I really want to give him the first call to do that. Yes, I am a truck man. I am a pickup man. My 96 Honda was a female named Eunice. My current Ford is a male named Jace. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just kind of comes to you. I just kind of sit and meditate and see exactly what my car wanted to be, what its personality was, and it came out Alexander. And it had a little cow named Angus for his kind of his I don't know what you would call it. Well, it was a little stuffed. The story behind it, my ex and I were at a county fair, and she wanted me to win her a stuffed animal, and so I tried and tried and tried, and it never happened. She's like, well, let me see if I can win you one. Boom. First opportunity she had, she won me a stuffed animal. So I kept that thing there as a sign of my emasculation. But Angus and I became buddies. He's still sitting up there, although he is now dyed a decisive purple from the sun. His black is now purple. But he's just like one of those little cheap stuffed animal cows from a thing. And every vehicle I've ever had has had a stuffed animal in it. And my old S10 had a teddy bear named Mr. McBeavy. If anybody watches, I do say a lot, so excuse me, but it's just the way I am. I'm just going off the cuff. Mr. McBeavy, which was kind of a call to the Andy Griffith Show. But his name was Mr. McBeavy. It just kind of popped into my head. Naming vehicles ain't weird. My bro has a new Dodge Ram, Big Red. My sister and mom call it Clifford. Yeah, it's cute. I like that. No, I'm against it as the Prophet fan man. Good man, good man. Yeah, I mean, all these years later, there is no need for a new cut of that movie. The movie is culturally dead. There's no significance in it. There's no need. It's null. It's it's out of the public interest. Only hardcore fans, quote unquote fans, want this thing. And how different can it be? Because it's going to be the same. It's going to be using the same scenes. Maybe a few things that are put in there that were cut. Maybe a few things that are in there that'll get spliced out. It's going to be the same movie. I mean, it's not going to be any different. There's no new ending. Excuse me. I'm like way. Wow, man, you guys are talkative today. That's cool though. Yes, I do share. Yeah, I said before, I do share the same birthday as the Duke. Like I said, the Duke and Marshall Dillon. Although the one story I like about Marshall Dillon, James Arness, he went into a dentist once, and they had to pull. I don't know if it was to pull a tooth or just to fill a cavity, and he passed out because he got so scared. And I was like, oh, not James Arness. Come on. I don't like a dentist either, but sometimes you have to do it. Dana Herron has Miata as Scarlet Witch and a Sequoia named Groot. Oh, that's fun. I like the Sequoia named Groot. That makes total sense. Almost missed it again. Yeah, like I said, these just pop up. I was going to do one yesterday. I was going to do this yesterday, but I didn't get any. I didn't really get any chance. And then when I did get a chance, it was just so. It was. I wouldn't have been able to give anything really to it. This one I still got a good. I think I've got a good amount of time. Mom, like I said, no one's here. Mom's out shopping, and usually takes her an hour or so. Plus, she's got to stop by the pharmacy, pick up my pills, pick up my nerve pill and my pain pill. So I don't get crazy and I'm not hurting. So probably my two most important pills. Kayla, when you try to find the Geek Show on Twitter that he's part of there, it's like 5 geek shows. So I have no idea what he's on. Are you talking about when you're trying to find them? Okay, Kayla, here is the clue. Show rhymes with his last name, Mo, and he spells it Eaux. So it's wait a minute, yeah, M-A, geez, now I can't even think of it. M-A, oh, holy Lord. What the hell is wrong with me today? It's at Geek Show, but it's Sheaux. That's it. So it's at GEEKSHEAUX. That is Geek Show, and he's fan band. So that's how you find him there. And he's always done that. He's always used show spelled that way. When I first knew him, he had a show called the Big Show with Chris Moe, which I still think is the best title he's ever had. But he's always changing. He's always trying to reinvent himself, trying to catch lightning in a bottle. And but I always preferred the first one he had, the Big Show with Chris Moe. Just my personal opinion. Casey Scott listening at worst first break after lunch rush. Good man. Justice League bored the arse out of me. Yeah. Like I said, I started watching it and had to stop. Do we really need more screen time for Ezra Miller? No. Ezra Miller is a complete waste as the Flash. Why he was the Flash, I don't know. Ugh, it was horrid. He was terrible. Superman looks like his upper lip had a bad plastic surgery job. Well, had a bad CGI job, is what it was. He had to keep that. He had to keep that mustache for Mission Impossible, and then they had to go do reshoots. And that's what I mean. It's stuff like that. When you catch all this bad mojo about a film before it comes out, it does not bode well for your film. And I think, well, I think Star Wars same way. All this bad stuff was coming out after Force Awakens. Everybody was generally okay with. I think after looking back on it, they have more of a problem. But I think when the first one came out, I think everyone was generally okay with it. May not have been like totally in love with it, but they could deal with it. Last Jedi was the big divisive one. And so, but yeah, when all the bad words started coming out about it, everyone's shields go up. You know, whether shill or not, fan, non-fan, or a casual fan, everybody starts to get an opinion about stuff before the thing even hits the theater. The one thing I like talking with when I talk to Professor Geek and we talk Mandalorian, he's already doom and gloom about all the stuff that could possibly happen in season 2. And I'm like, dude, season 2 is like not until October. Can we at least wait till October and the first episode hits before we start kind of gauging what might actually happen? Well, they're going to ruin it. They're going to have Ahsoka in it. Ahsoka may be in for one or two eps, maybe. We have no idea. They're going to do a road show, I'm sure. Yeah, but that's something else. Let's wait on this one. Los Harris, your son's birthday is August 15th. Is next to Jason Todd's birthday of August 16th. Cool. Age of Boomer Miller needs more money to choke out. Oh God. Henry Cavill wasn't doing Superman right until the Snyderverse, but I can't get myself to hate him in the interviews. Seems like a nice guy. Yeah, I have nothing against Cavill as a person or even as an actor. I actually liked him in Witcher. I know a lot of people may not agree with me. Witcher fans may not agree or whatever. I've never played the game and I don't really know the books. I watched the Netflix series and I quite liked the Netflix series. I didn't like their tryst. I know she's supposed to be a hot redhead and she wasn't. So she was all right, but she wasn't what you wanted. But I think his Geralt, whatever his name was. I thought he did a fine job. But yeah, his Superman just wasn't Superman. And you blame that on the creator. You blame it on the writer, on the director, for the direction they go. An actor is a tool, some more than others, but an actor is a tool to do the job that the director wants him to do. On a series, an actor over time has more to say about how their characters are portrayed. But ultimately, their characters are going to be what their directors make them into. And they just, I mean, Snyder took them in the wrong direction in Man of Steel and kept that direction going in Batman v Superman. And then in the Justice League, he just was not a good Superman. He could have been a good Superman. I don't think the actor has the respects playing the part like others who have played the part do. But then your Christopher Reeves and your Brandon Rouths don't show up every day. Or even your Dean Cain. I mean, Dean Cain respected that role. I mean, whatever you think of him. Cyborg is not Justice League, he's Teen Titans. Exactly. There was no necessary for him to be there. Deal on the truck. No, it's my mom's right now. She's driving it. She had a car and it got totaled. Someone ran into her, and so now she's driving mine. It's not the best for her. I actually do need. I've told her, if you find a seller or a trade for something a little more old lady like, go for it. Get what you can for it. I'll sign it over. Satorga Lane, hello, sir. Welcome aboard. I think it has much less to do if it's a good movie that's tonally consistent. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but it's so inconsistent on so many levels stuff. I never liked the casting for a lot of the part. I was actually okay with Ben Affleck. I thought he could have played the role, but they didn't write the right Batman. They were the wrong Superman. I think they totally miscast Momoa. He's Lobo. He's not Aquaman. Wonder Woman's the only one they actually, I think, got right as far as the way she looks, good person, and maybe they didn't write the first movie exactly the way she should have been written, but I like the actress. Okay, Under Dread, Big Al presents, if you had to choose for a Western rewatch, Clint Eastwood or John Wayne. Oh, dude, what are you doing to me? My favorite Western, which either of those starred, it's got to be Outlaw Josie Wales. So I would have to go Eastwood. Now, if I had to pick one movie to rewatch with one or the other, I would pick The Quiet Man with John Wayne, which is one of my all-time favorites. But it's not a Western. So, but yeah, I couldn't pick just one. Each one would be great. I think John Wayne, I think watching True Grit, Rio Bravo, Rio Lobo, any number of those, McClintock, they'd be great. With Clint Eastwood, of course, like I said, Outlaw Josie Wales, any of the spaghetti westerns he did. Pale Rider was a great film. Unforgiven, which is a spectacular film. So yeah, you can't lose though on that one. Big Al would love Super Mario Brothers. Nah, not my kind of thing. Hammer Horror, yeah, Hammer Horror. I'd like to get some more Hammer Horror in here on a rewatch. More towards, I think maybe after September, after the 1st of September, as we start oozing into the fall. That's when I think the horror rewatches will pop up a little more. Speaking of rewatches, though, I do want to say, while I've got some of you on here, tomorrow night's rewatch is not going to be at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. It is going to be at 6 Eastern, 5 Central. It is being hosted by So Many Fandoms. It's we'll post it. It's on Twitter. If you look under my Twitter, it's in my feed there. It's being hosted by meteorologist Katie, who is an actual meteorologist and a storm chaser in Iowa, and we're going to be doing Twister, but we're doing it earlier because the forecast was showing the possibility of tornadic activity later Saturday night where she's at, and she has to be available to go in and report on it because that's part of her job. So we're shifting it a little early. But yeah, Twister tomorrow night at 6. So it's an early rewatch tomorrow night. I hope you guys can still join us. I hope the word gets out. But yeah, and then of course next week we're doing the Maltese Falcon with on Professor Geek's channel. Professor Geek loves Hitchcock. and he's going to not Hitchcock. Sorry, wait, that's the wrong one. It's not Hitchcock. Scratch it, back it up. Uh, well, he does love Hitchcock. At the end of June, we're doing Hitchcock, but we're doing Maltese Falcon, which is a film noir. Film noir, which Professor Geek does love film noir, and so we're doing Maltese Falcon, Humphrey Bogart's classic, probably his between that and Casablanca, his most defining film. So we're going to be watching that, and then into June, got some good stuff in June coming up too. Of course, we have rescheduled Charade, which Soundgraver will be guiding us through on her channel, and we're finally going to be on the 20th on my channel. It's going to be Clash of the Titans, the 1981 classic fantasy film, and before that on June 6th, spaghetti western. Everybody's been wanting a western. We're going to watch one called They Call Me Trinity, which is a film that Nanette Pichilli is a big fan of. So yeah, lots of good stuff on the way. And then Hitchcock, actually 2 nights in a row, a Friday and a Saturday at the end of the month, and then followed July 4th by The Lake House, which somehow is supposed to thematically tie in to Notorious, which is one of the films we're doing. We're doing Notorious Friday night, and then on Saturday night we're doing Vertigo as kind of a double Hitchcock rewatch that the professor has some ideas that he really wants to convey on. So sorry, yeah, I just want to make sure I got all that out. Satorga game, how far am I? Wow, I'm 20 minutes behind on this thing. As to Cyborg, I never really viewed him as a Titan because his first interaction with the character was one of the Super Friends cartoons. Yeah. But yeah, he's just so now with the Titans. Snyder ruined Superman. Why would anyone think the world of DC would do any justice? Yeah. The DC cinematic universe is dead to me. Are you a fan of Cosmic Mediums video games? Yeah, what cost? Okay, there's some talking to each other. Wow, yeah, Daniel Herron and his soundtracks. Wow. If you follow Daniel Herron on Instagram, you see a lot of his soundtracks that he has, which are legion. He has a lot of soundtracks. I do too, but probably not like him. Melissa recommend Legend of Zelda or Castlevania. Like I said, I'm just not a gamer. I'm just really not. I'm a time buster when it comes to gaming. I like something easy to play, repetitive. Only a small skill level is needed. Although some of those games, that golfing game I play is really touchy. Man, I'm always getting in bunkers and that bad thing. Yeah, good. Yeah, Rio Bravo for a few dollars more. Yeah. Honor Dread suggesting. Who liked? Yeah, AL liked Quiet Man. Yeah. Oh, good thing. Yeah, Quiet Man is a beautiful film. Baby Groot, Hella, Spider-Man. Waiting on Mysterio, Vulture, Scarlet Witch. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm going backwards now, seeing what I missed because I somehow got shut up to the beginning. So, yeah, if I haven't answered anything, please repeat it because I'm totally like in the weeds when it comes to following the chat here. Man of Steel, love seeing Superman fight like he fights in the comics. And after he killed Zod, he clearly didn't want to do it again. That Scream, I think, was a hint. Yeah. No, he didn't want to do it, but he did it. There was out of the way. The Kobayashi Maru does not follow Superman. But I'm still wondering, has anybody watched Upload on Amazon yet? I know I've talked about it a couple times. I'm just wondering if anybody else has seen it and what, if they have, what they think about it. It's a fun little show. And nobody really seems to listen to me has or has like actually gone in to see it. I'm really sad about it because I want to talk about it sometimes, or at least talk a little bit about it. I kind of forced the issue a couple times with the professor. I know you totally blanked out on me. Mohammed, have I heard about the censorship on Netflix? Back to the Future 2? Yes, taking out the Ooh La La book or something he was reading, or magazine or something. Which is just, that's just dumb. I will give, I'll give Disney a pass on wiping out Daryl Hannah's butt. I'll give them a slight pass, barely a pass, not much of one, but a small one. But yeah, Ooh La La, and on Netflix, come on, we're adults here. I mean, and even kids, I don't even, either you're old enough to get it, and if you're old enough to get it, it's so inoffensive. And if you're not old enough to get it, who cares? I don't think it would upset anybody, except probably one person sitting in, insert whatever dumb area here, and complains to one person, who then thinks, oh my God, if this one person is upset, God knows how many billions are in their stead. Come on. I think people need to be a little more adult about things. We all have different views. We all have different outlooks. We all have different moral attitudes. We could get along, and if you can't, I mean, you can at least get along. Nobody's asking to hang out with anybody. If you don't want to hang out with a person, you don't. I've known people that I hung around with for a bit. They were kind of buttheads, and then after a while, you don't. The good ones stick with you. Michael Kreitzer stuck with me. I've had people in and out of my life all the time, but that's all right. You heard they changed the edit back, so you can see Ooh La La, which would make more sense, because I don't think anyone who has a contract to show a movie, if they have a contract to show a movie, you cannot alter that movie unless the contract says you can. Now, if you're Netflix, why should you even have to do that? I mean, this is a service for people, they have that stupid 4-digit code you have to enter if it's anything adult. Yeah, if you want to make Back to the Future an adult viewing thing where you have to plug in the 4-digit, go right ahead, but leave the film alone, because that's messing with art, if you ask me. Big out my Justice League cast: Brandon Routh as Superman. Yep. Atkins as Batman. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Denzel Washington as Martian Manhunter, and the actor who plays CW's Flash, Grant Gustin. Yes. And I'd say, I think you need a Green Lantern. And you could bring the guy that's on the Arrow that they were suggesting, John Diggle. Make his name John Stewart Diggle. There you go. You got John Stewart, and he's your Green Arrow. Next, you're going to tell me Gandalf is going to have his staff censored. Whoop, sorry, folks. Getting a phone call, and it's probably that stupid thing telling me that my Apple iCloud is in a bad situation. I don't have Apple iCloud. Yet I'm getting all these phone calls. We need to talk to you about your Apple iCloud has been whatever. It's like, I try to explain to my mother, who an elderly woman who doesn't really understand computer stuff. They're not calling me. They're calling everybody, and anybody who has an iCloud who doesn't know any better gets nervous, and they give away their password, and then you're done. God, I hate phone scammers. I despise the very ground they walk on. I don't normally wish bad things to happen to people, but I wish bad things to happen to them. Netflix shouldn't even be editing simply because of the paywall. I didn't think about that, but you're right. I agree 100%. If I'm paying to watch movies, I don't want my movies censored. I want the full Monty version of my show, whatever it may be. It's like, yeah, I'm a man. I'd like a show with a little, female nudity in it. It can be enjoyable. It's a lovely thing to see. I don't want it wiped out. Yeah, you can, like, if it was normally done that way, that's one thing. But if you that way and you're watching it on a service you pay for, you better get the full deal. Not that I go out of my way to look for stuff like that. I'm usually looking for Bigfoot movies, but let's see. So for a thumbnail, put Troy's face on Daryl Hannah's body and a professor face on her butt and your face on the man's body surprised. Oh man, I kind of like that. That would be funny. I'll have to keep that in mind. If we ever watch Splash, I don't know. I really don't see us watching Splash. I don't think anybody really wants to watch Splash. I've never seen it when it was first out, and it was okay, but it's nothing I need to watch again. I could really do an uncensored, the uncensored Splash rewatch. Yeah, I'm really not. I'm not really a big fan of the film. I would watch it if the other guys wanted to do it. Perfectly reasonable. No reason not to. Like I said, I would watch films I hate. Weekend at Bernie's, because McCarthy. Any of those films McCarthy is in, I would watch it at a rewatch. If the Professor and them Mannequin, I'll watch Star Trek V, which I don't. I will say, my hatred of Star Trek V is usually overdone for entertainment purposes. It is the weakest of the Star Trek films, though. I'm sorry, it just is. But yeah, I overdo a lot for entertainment's sake. Like My Foot Fetish, that is so over top done, just for fun. Done just for fun. Let's see. Let me get to the end here. I think I've caught up, or I've just basically gotten to a place where I did it. Big opposite. They're making a 3.5-hour cut of Ghostbusters, the chick one. They have more of that thing. I'd like to see what's the other one, like 2 hours. I'd like to see them trim about 2 hours out of that film instead of adding more to it. And yes, I watched it, and it's terrible. It is terrible. I like the people that are in it. I just don't think that wasn't Ghostbusters. It was something else, and I'm not quite sure what it was, but I know I don't want to watch it again. Weekend at Bernie's had some funny moments. Like Mannequin soundtrack. Yeah, it was all right, but Yeah, I don't know. There's something about Andrew McCarthy. I just sometimes want to punch him in the face, and nothing against the man. Just for some reason, there's the way he looks, the smile, the way his eye. I don't know. Sometimes you just have that irrational thing against somebody. I know my mother hated Michael J. Fox and Jim Carrey. Those two. For some reason, she just could look at him and just didn't want to look at him. No, I hate him so much. And I didn't get it until I started, kind of finding pieces of my own. I was like, you know what? I get it now. You just don't want to look at him. What's my favorite Primark? Primark. I don't know what that is. Or if I do, I'm not putting it together in my head. Daniel Heron, still waiting for the complete score release of Gladiator. That was a good score. I really enjoyed Gladiator. I have just the regular soundtrack. There was a part 2 to that soundtrack. Did I get that too? I know I got the first one. And you're saying it was all Universal that censored Back to the Future 2, not Netflix. Huh. Don't know. Let me see here. I overdo things just for entertainment's sake. That's what she says. Yeah. Just like a woman. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are aspects. Now, I will say I own every one of these things. There's some truth behind every. Is it that damn thing again? Hold on, I want to see if this is that thing again. Hold on. Hello? No, just a beep 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 after that one. I thought it was the iCloud Apple service calling again for about the 20th time in the last 2 days. This is my hell I've been living with in the last 2 days. Definitely want to slow down. Because that's okay. That's not me. I wonder if a rewatch of a web series like TTS is good. TTS. What's TTS? TTS. What? What's TTS? Do I know what TTS is? Kayla, I was gone for a bit, Miguel. Did you respond to me on anything? I might have. I know I did on something. Please repeat your question, and if I didn't, I will definitely hit it again. Got to look up Warhammer 40,000. That's where the Primex are. Oh, see, I don't do that. I just don't know. I do not do Warhammer 40K. I doubt I will ever do 40 for Warhammer 40K. Tommy Lee Jones hated Jim Carrey. I don't blame the man a bit. He could be a bit much, I think. Have I watched Father Ted yet? No. Andrew does have a slappable face. Yeah, he does. I'm sorry. I was all set. It was a fun. It made me laugh. I think it was last week. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, well, let me find something to try to go back to sleep on, on television, because I sleep with TV on. And I was like, well, let's see what's on, because it was a weekend. So I was like, well, let's see what Hallmark's on. And it was a film that he did with them where he has to learn to dance or something. And I'm like, son of a... It was out of the horse movie. He's done 2 things for Hallmark. And they're like landmines in the Hallmark schedule. So I found something else. But I was like, oh man, even Hallmark's not safe sometimes. I have a friend who hated Sandra Bullock's voice. I could see that. I like Sandra Bullock's voice, though. I like a lot about Sandra Bullock. I got 3 robocalls just this morning. I found it annoying. Yeah, we get them a lot. But like I said, the last 2 days has been about this the Apple iCloud thing, and I don't have Apple iCloud. I don't have Apple. I have OneDrive. That's it. But yeah, how can your mom hate Jim Carrey and Michael J. Fox? A lot of elderly people like Jim Carrey and Michael J. Fox and Johnny Depp. Just what it was. Maybe it was during the Family Ties years. So this was a while back. And I don't think she liked Jim Carrey's wild out there, like Ace Ventura type stuff. That's just not her thing. And I think that's what she equates. She equates that like out there, wild natured kind of humor, and it's just not her shtick. She likes much subtler. She likes British humor a lot. I know that because we were always watching some of the British sitcoms, which I really wish they'd bring back because they've been off since the thing have been on. Well, one track of them have been. Next time they call, say I tracked your location and now I'm on my way with a sawed-off shotgun. TTS is short for text-to-speech device. And you only say you don't think you could get into Warhammer 40K because you haven't seen enough of it. And just call it 40K. Okay. Sorry. Not a question, but there is this: how different can the Snyder Cut be? I tell you, just turn up the dark, depressing level to 9,000. Yeah, it's an old meme, but I couldn't help myself. Yeah, I don't know how they're. I mean, but you're right. It's like it can't be much different. I mean, we know the gist. It'd be like we got a recut of Titanic. Well, the ship still sinks, so you're really not going to change much. What are they going to not do it in the car this time? That kind of thing. Justice League came out 2 years ago. It was a failure in every way imaginable, and needs to disappear. Like I said, cut your losses. It was a mistake. Get someone who knows the characters, write another story in about 5 or 6 years, try again. But for this generation, this little 5-year generation, this little period, Justice League is dead. I mean, yeah, Aquaman might do good, Wonder Woman might do well, but that I mean, this is the Justice League. How do you screw up the Justice League? That should have been money in the bank. They should have made $1 billion the first weekend. But no. Just like Batman versus Superman. That was money. That should have been an easy slam dunk concept. And they screwed it up. And it became a joke. Martha. I mean, that's the only thing people really remember from the thing anymore. It's the Martha joke. Did I ever watch Kolchak the Night Stalker? Not really. I've seen some of it. I know the gist. I've just never really sat down and watched it. That's one of those classics I need to really, really go back and get to. My sister can't stand James Cagney and Charlton Heston. Wow. Yeah, like I said, some people they're just some people that just hit people the wrong way. I love Charlton Heston. I like Jimmy Cagney. I don't, I'm more apathetic about Cagney. Don't hate him. Don't really know him. Now I don't know enough of him. I'll say that I really need to see more of him, but I don't have anything against the man. But I do really like Charlton Heston. You like Jim Carrey, to each to his own. Yep. I may look up YouTube clips, but leave it at that. Yeah. Yes, you should. Okay, I feel like to do the Snyder cut being so hyped up, they might be disappointed by the end results. Yeah, it might make a worse situation, a bad situation worse. Uh, I don't see any reason to do it except maybe just to shut people the hell up. We want the Snyder Cut people up. Okay, here is the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut, I should say. You happy? Didn't change anything. Hollywood doesn't understand aspirational heroes. They ruined Luke Skywalker and Superman, both written by Chris Terrio. See, I won't say Hollywood. I'll say Chris Terrio doesn't understand them. Or Rian Johnson. There's a definite population that just doesn't get it. And like I said, and we kind of touched on it last night. The professor and I, right before we went on with the book study, we talked a little bit about, wow, suddenly people were realizing they did like Luke Skywalker. No duh that people like Luke Skywalker. It's ignorant to think that they didn't. But we're in a society now where anti-heroes are a big thing now. The darker, gritty hero. And now they think everybody needs to be dark and gritty. No, it's just what people have been exposed to, and now they're being force-fed even classic characters that are normally light characters. You see the light; they're good, upright, forthright characters, and now they're being made dark and gritty because that's what people seem to be wanting to see. And they don't really need that. Like I said, I need my heroes. I like some dark and gritty as much as the next guy, but I want my heroes to be heroes. They don't need to be these miserable little guys who, just you just don't need it. You just don't need it. First thing my sister said, Cagney was Mr. Roberts. I kind of shaped her impression of him. Yeah, I remember Mr. Roberts. I liked that film. George Lucas doesn't like Hollywood. Can't say I blame the man. Yeah, I don't either. I mean, like I said, there is a clique in Hollywood right now that is kind of anti. Yeah, I don't want to say anti-good. But they just have a certain way of thinking, and it's just not what the rest of America is thinking. Like I said, most of America, I think, wants a forthright Superman. They want a dark and gritty Batman, but they don't want a psychopathic killer of a Batman. They want maybe along the lines of a Michael Keaton Batman. Adam West maybe might be a bit much for some people, but for me, I think for a kid, Adam West Batman was great to grow up with. It formed a lot of my moral viewpoints. It's kind of weird to think, but I still think about a lot of those things I learned on that show. Always have your seatbelt on, look both ways before you cross the street, be polite to police officers. You don't want to be this snippy little talk back to people kind of guy. Am I interested in Nolan's new film Tenet? I've seen stuff about it. I don't know what it is yet. I got to look at it. I have not seen an ad for it. I've had access to it. I just haven't taken the time to look at it. So I really don't know what to say about it. I almost looked at it today, but I just got caught up in something else. I got caught up in an interview with the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels from WWF. someone's been posting a bunch of little interview clips, and they're older clips because he looks a lot younger than he does now. And just hearing him talk about certain things, it's kind of cool. They want a Batman that works out. Yeah. I don't even, you look at Adam West. I mean, the man was in shape, but he wasn't, he wasn't this buffed up guy, and that was fine for the time. But you need at least. But even if you look at Christian Bale, he was, he was like, he wasn't buffed out. He was like thin, slender, strong. So, but yeah, Pattinson needs to get right in his head. He doesn't need to become this moody. We don't need a moody Hollywood actor playing Batman. I've had enough of these moody entertainment types. You should be damn thankful and happy that people want to come and see you in a movie and that you've got millions of dollars. There are people that are terrible off in this world, and you bring them joy, and you're playing like you're, oh, it's such a bother to be. I'm like, no, you don't get to do that. Shut up. No, I haven't seen the Tenet trailer. Batman 66, Batman TAS is the same type of Batman. Gotham changed, but not the Batman. Yeah. I mean, he's still bad. He's a little grittier in the animated series, but he's still pretty cool. But yeah, those are my two favorite Batman. Batman 66 and the animated series. Even above, I know I'll catch hell if he hears this, but even above Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's probably third behind West and the animated version with Kevin Conroy. West's version of Batman was cheesy, but a good step away from the Shadow-styled Batman. When he turned back into the Shadow-esque, best bound of Batman is TOS. And I agree. I really agree with that. I think that's probably the definitive Batman. Like I said, I talked about fave. West will always be my favorite Batman because memories and member berries and stuff like that. Pattinson is not my Batman. Yeah, Atkins. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, he's not. There are a lot of people that can do Batman. Unfortunately, I think they got the wrong guy. We'll see what happens. If you had an unlimited budget, how would you do a Superman movie? Good God. Unlimited budget. How would I do a Superman movie? Unlimited budget, I would clone Christopher Reeve to have my actor. So, hey, said unlimited budget. I'm talking. If I have an unlimited range of power, first I'm getting Reeve back. Yeah, they did the perfect Superman movie in '78. It was the perfect introduction. Maybe a little bit more outer spacey. That's weird to say, but yeah, I don't think you need an unlimited budget. I think you can do the perfect Superman movie very easily within blockbuster standards. I mean, like your typical Hollywood blockbuster, like what Man of Steel. If you had the budget for Man of Steel and the sensibilities of, say, Fan-Man and Professor Geek to do the story, that's your Batman film. I mean, that's your Superman film. Hey, you know what? It's your Batman film too. If you want to put the two in a minute, just call it World's Finest. And you have, Batman, Superman, and whoever else. They could give you your Justice League movie. Give them a couple of years to figure out the storyline. You get the right number of fans. They'll give you the story. And I don't think I could do them as much justice as Fan-Man and Professor Geek could. They're just that good a fan. Any Bigfoot news? Bigfoot news. Not really. Nothing really new. I was watching the Sylvanic Bigfoot guy. What's his name? I can't think of his name. He's very controversial, but still entertaining. Came up with a measurement for one of the guys that was like 9'4". That's a freaking big creature, and it's not even the alpha. The alpha is like a tick taller and way bigger. So getting the size there. No, I really haven't heard a lot of Bigfoot news lately. I haven't really been hunting it down as much as I usually had. I just, still like to believe that they are out there walking around in the woods. And I think, playing it smart by keeping away from us. Last thing Bigfoots need are our germs. Doing them in. Highly recommend checking out. He understands the character way better. Mark Waid. Oh, that's a mix. Well, I missed something. This is where I get kind of sketched out as I go back to check to see something I missed. And oh yeah, who said Randy Savage was the man back in the day? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I miss the old days of wrestling. Honor Dread. Yeah, Randy Savage was the man. It doesn't get nearly the amount of DAP he should, or the amount of credit. Even with the credit he does get, I don't think he gets. He needs more. I think Hulk Hogan's a bit overrated. He's not overrated as a superstar or a personality, but as a wrestler, he's very overrated. He has 2 moves. But yeah, Boomer. Yeah, nothing really new in Bigfoot kind of stuff. Of course, the big news was that UFOs are now real, according to the government. They declassified them. They said they're out there. We don't know what it is. Well, I could have told you that. I mean, just in the name UFO, anything can be a UFO. You feel it. You don't know what it is. It's flying. It's an unidentified flying object. Boom, UFO. I would need to do a Close Encounter rewatch. That's an old favorite of mine. 1978's Close Encounters. Or was it 77 as well? No, I think it was 78. God, man, between 75 and like 83, what glorious years they were. Rocky, Jaws, Star Wars, Close Encounters, Empire, Jedi, Superman. God, to be young again. Big Al as Bat Al and Prof, starring Super Prof, and Bat Al versus Super Prof, Dawn of Geek Injustice. Rated M for sex, violence, bloody gore, language, and more. I don't know. I don't know where the sex is coming in, but I hope it's not. I hope it's a guest star. Adam West probably could have done a darker Batman. Remember watching Comic Book Doc, him reading lines from Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. Oh yeah, I mean he's an actor. He probably could have done a lot of different ways of doing it. But he did the way they needed to do it. That was the Batman we needed at that time. Late 60s, we're in the middle of a war. Things were kind of depressing. We needed Batman. We needed that Batman, and West fit the bill. My idea for Superman was him meeting Martian Manhunter, who is hiding from Brainiac. And at the end, both Supes and Manhunter team up to take him down. Yeah, that'd be a good movie. I'd see that. As long as Superman had trunks. Too bad. What's this? Boop. But yeah, it's like you mentioned Randy Savage. I immediately think of Bonesaw as Ready. Yeah, I like seeing him as Bonesaw. That was awesome. Randy Savage was a cool dude. Tortured but cool. I always feel so bad for Miss Elizabeth. Broke up with him, got with Lex Luger, and next thing you know, she gets into the bad stuff. Came across the land, the beast of the land between the lakes. It's actually a killer werewolf dogman in Kentucky. Huh. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I saw something like they call me Bigfoot or they don't call me something on Amazon. I saw. I need to take a peek at. I just haven't had a nice little. I haven't, like I said, I haven't been in the mood. I've needed some comedy lately. That's been the big thing. Uh, Randy Savage, yeah, he was great. So he even appeared on Space Ghost as his granddad. Oh, that's funny. Too bad he didn't voice the DTV movie version. He was kind of typecast as the Light Knight. Yeah. Big Al to contact film that pissed me off and a bunch of people off. You talking about Contact? Oh, Contact, the film Contact. Yeah, I didn't like that film. Close Encounters was 77. I think it was late 77 then. Because or later that summer. Man, what a year that was. Close Encounters, Star Wars. Nice. Yes, hey Freak Show, you're going nowhere. Got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. Saw a Joe Rogan video where he talked to a guy saying we should take UFO sightings seriously. Very interesting. I think we should, because one, okay, if they're not in outer space and we don't know what it is, nobody can figure out what it is, even our own government, that's something to be concerned about. Like I said, even just from a from a military standpoint, or just even us, if it's some guy flying around in some weird thing he built in his backyard, I think could crash into anywhere. Imagine you were in prison and a bigger prisoner said that to you. Oh God, it would listener. Subjectively, the trucks are take them or leave them for me, but objectively, I know why they should stay. Yeah, K-Landers. I like the trucks because I grew up with the trucks. Superman and Batman don't look right to me without them. They just don't. They look like they're wearing pajamas instead, like little onesies, and they need something to break it up. Even just from a color palette. You know, Superman, darn you, Lex Luger. I mean Luthor. Yeah, I like Lex. I like Lex Luger. Yeah, getting back to wrestling a little bit. Yeah, Lex Luger. I was always a fan of. But yeah, when he got with Elizabeth, man, and they were just, it was a bad time for both of them, and just a shame we lost that beautiful girl to an overdose like that. He's since turned himself around, thankfully, for the most part, but he's had a lot of health problems too. Big opposite. Favorite Lois Lane, Dana Delaney or Terry Hatcher? Terry Hatcher. Actually, Margot Kidder. But, well, you know what? I like Margot Kidder. But yeah, Terry Hatcher, I just thought she was a great portrayal. I mean, beautiful. And the character, I mean, she played the character smart, sassy. I really liked her. South Park, Mr. Garrison watched the film to find out the alien was her damn father. Yeah, I remember that. That was actually just on like a couple weeks ago. I remember seeing that scene. Superman Rebirth costume is great. It doesn't have trucks, but the belt breaks it up a little bit. Yeah, it really depends on the interpretation of it. New 52 suits, terrible, terrible. The Beast of the LBL allegedly killed a family of campers in the 80s. Witnesses say that the state government covered it up so it wouldn't harm tourism. I'll have to look into that. I've never heard that. Huh. Yeah, I'll definitely check that story out when I get a chance. I thought it looked like underwear at first, but I never thought it was actually underwear. But I wish superhero cartoons would explain it instead of instead of leaving us in the dark, helping some blah blah blah. Yeah, it's good. I'm gonna have to get off here soon. Helping some of us to the wrong conclusions. Yeah. I like Terry Hatcher too. Margot was good. I like Terry, but I grew up with Dana's voice. Yeah, like I said, a lot of it's going to be who you grew up with. Like I said, when I grew up, Superman was George Reeves, but I wasn't as invested in that show as I was with Batman. So by the time the Superman movie came out, Christopher Reeve didn't have as far to go to outdo George Reeves. George Reeves was a great Superman. He was a mature Superman, so there was that. Superman's excuse for the trucks. My mother made them for me. Yeah, Superman doesn't need his trucks. Yeah, to me, yeah, they neither. If they had trucks, they need trucks. I don't like change. What is about New 52 Superman suit that you didn't like about it? No trucks, and then the stupid little things on the hands that cover up the back of the hands, the collar, just a lot of stuff. George Reeves has a gut. Well, you know what? It was the time. He had the 50s bod. You know, you look at tough guys from the 50s, they all had like a little beer bellyish. They weren't like, they didn't have the rock hard abs that everybody talks about today. Honor Dread never changed positivity. Yeah, thanks. That's just who I am. I'm just a positive person. I like New 52 suit, but the classic will be number one. Yep. New 52 suit was too armored. The sleeves were too meh. Yeah, it just didn't look right to me. Just it's as simple as that. Wish the internet would quit making Batman an atheist. And Marvel quit Spider-Man, Hulk, Iron Man, villains, and atheists. Yeah, I think they do it to be. They think they're playing it safe, middle of the road, but they're just ticking people off. I mean, a lot of characters. First of all, you don't really need to touch on their religion if you don't want to. You don't have to define them one way or another. Just have them be a superhero. Thanks for a great stream. I ended up getting work done while listening. Well, I'm glad I can help out, Santa Graver. Yeah, like I said, I try to pop on every few weeks, few weeks, and just like I said, free flow talk, free flow chat. I had no agenda, I had no topics. I let you guys generate the topics, and we had a nice little. I think a nice little stream came up today. DRY Big Al presents George Reeves and Christopher Reeve look like the comic book Superman from their era. Reeves the 50s Superman, and Reeves 70s. Yeah, and they portrayed them very well, and each portrayed in the public eye very well. George Reeves knew the power of the positive Superman image, and he did his best to play it. Now Reeve just was way out. I mean, Reeve was a dream when it came to them having the right guy play Superman. You're not gonna. Yeah, I mean, Brandon Routh is this, like I said, that's as close to Christopher Reeve you're going to get. They've really made some good choices, but unfortunately, in the last 10 years, not so much. So, but yeah, let me let me get off here because I'm sure Mother will be back soon. I do want to thank everyone for tuning in today. Just hanging out for a while. Let me go through a quick thing. Tonight, Fan Man Tonight should happen. Kind of keep an eye out on at the Fan Man's Twitter channel at Geek Show. That's Geek Show spelled with an EAUX. And mine, if I see him post something, I'll retweet it. Just kind of keep an eye out around 8 o'clock for a possible stream. And between 8 and 9 is usually when he goes on. Really depends on how his life is flowing. He has a family, responsibilities there, so I can't, like I said, can't vouch for him. Tomorrow night, at an early time, 6 p.m. Eastern, Twister rewatch with meteorologist Katie on her channel, So Many Fandoms, with myself, Troy, and Nanette, I believe. And like I said, on Tuesday, when you all wake up, I want you to yell out, "Happy birthday, Big Al." I will feel the vibes. I'm sure I will feel them in the force. I will feel everyone's good wishes for my birthday. I'm just having fun. But yeah, it's like I say, it's a big one. Honored, yes, Bill Paxton's Twister. That the classic tornado movie. Cal. No, I think it's the same Cal. Great movie, one of my favorites. Love Twister. It's a definite fave of mine. But yeah, I'm just glad everyone could drop by today. I hope everyone has a great day. Have a great evening. Like I said, listen out. Hopefully I'll hear you guys tonight. I hear someone messaged me on Facebook. Let me just check to make sure it's not Fan Man with an actual update. Who knows? You never know. It's always possible. Either that or someone's trying to top my score somewhere in that dumb game I don't play anymore. Come on, Messenger, you're so slow. Nope, totally nothing. Yeah, it's oh God, those guys again. Advertisement for something. But oh wait, there's a fan. For my last one. And the chat. Oh, the Fan Man saying he just did a Snyder Cut video. I'm sure that's going to be fun. So let me say, I'm streaming now, Fan Man. Man, time tonight. Let's see if he gets this anytime soon, so I can let you guys know before I actually do sign off. But of course, sometimes he doesn't check his messages right away, which really bugs the living hell out of me. I'll put something down literally second after he sends a message to me. I will answer immediately, and then boom, I have to wait for a response. And all I want to know is what time tonight, because I'm currently on Fan Man. Why don't you read my response like now? But it does sound like it's the last word he's going to have all the BS. He does want to briefly talk about it tonight. So there is a Fan Man tonight that will be happening tonight to hear my thought and the chat's thoughts. So yeah, I know the Fan Man's going to want to hear all your guys' thoughts on this. And I'm sure he'll have more to say. He always does. And I'm sure it'll be brilliant. I'm sure it'll pretty much reflect the thoughts we've all been having. Okay, doesn't sound like he's going to give me any time tonight. So yeah, Fan Man tonight, this evening. Join us then. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. See Sound Engraver, I have an issue getting off too. I can keep rolling and rolling myself. But I hope everyone has a wonderful day, a wonderful evening. Join us tonight on Fan Man Tonight. Join us tomorrow for Twister. And like I said, just keep checking to see whatever we're on. If you're part of the book club, read those next chapters. I forget what they are. What, 16 to 20 or 21 to 25? One of them. I forget which one. But we're wait. Last night was the third one we did. So it should be 16 to 20. So those should be the next ones that we're doing, I believe. Take care, everyone. Love that you guys could join us. My beloved Owl Pals. Have a great day.